This is Julien, and welcome to video number 4 of the Self-Esteem series, the grand finale, where you're going to learn exactly how to let go, how to work on the internal directly. Remember, the art of raising your level of self-esteem is an inside-out job, and in this video, we're going to cover the mechanics of letting go, the exact practical steps, so that you leave this video knowing exactly what to do. Okay, if you've ever watched a video where you hear this term letting go and you're just banging your head against the wall like, okay, I get it, but how do I do it? How do I let go? Just tell me how to let go. That's all I want to know. Well, this video will give you that answer finally. Now, be sure to hit the subscribe button below this video, the little bell next to it, and brace yourself for the ride. So the first thing to understand when it comes to letting go is that the practice of letting go is through mindfulness-based meditation, not concentration-based meditation. Okay, concentration-based meditation is the meditation that's pumped in the mainstream. It's the focus on the now meditation, focus on the present moment, focus on a spot on the wall, focus on a mantra, and just concentrate. Concentrate for 10 minutes, concentrate for 20 minutes, concentrate for 2 hours. That is your meditation. Okay, that's the mainstream type of meditation. And if you're someone who doesn't meditate at all, this is an amazing first step. Okay, this is the first step that I took years ago when it comes to meditation. I didn't know any better. I'm like, well, everyone's saying to just concentrate, so let's do it. Let's just keep concentrating on a little spot on the wall or on the present moment until all my worries, all those thoughts, right, all my problems just fade away. And did it work? Yes, but only temporarily. Okay, if you right now concentrate on my finger, just concentrate on this little spot right here. And just keep concentrating, just zone in on my finger. What's going to happen to your surroundings? Right? Keep focusing, concentrate. A lot of effort, just locking on that finger. The more you focus, the more you concentrate, what happens? Your surroundings fade away. That's what happens to the worries, the thoughts. Oh my God, what about the future, the past, all this? Hey, just focus on the now. Keep focusing. Oh, they start fading away the more I concentrate. Now what happens when you stop concentrating? Your surroundings are back, right? All those worries come back, your problems come back, and nothing really changes. It's like this temporary vacation away from your problems. Okay, that's what I figured out, that's what I realized. I would sit there and just focus and concentrate, and I would start with 10 minutes, I would extend it to 20, I would even do an hour of just concentration, and nothing would really change in the long run. It would just give me this temporary break where I was just so focused that I'd forget temporarily about my problems. Okay, now the benefit you will get from this, however, is that you will get really good at concentrating. Okay, this did help me massively when it comes to delivering content like this. When it comes to public speaking, I could just hold an idea there for a longer period of time. It was massively beneficial, and once more, if you're someone who doesn't meditate at all, this is an amazing first step. But it doesn't get to the cause. In order to get to the cause, you must shift to mindfulness-based meditation. And the difference there is, instead of focusing on something to forget about your problems, you're going to focus on your problems directly. You're going to dive right into all that darkness, right? All those things that are running you, all those worries, all those fears, the things you've disowned, remember that split, the things you've labeled as unacceptable, you're going to focus on that in order to let go of them, so that guess what? Now there's nothing to escape from. Now you don't need to concentrate in order to be present, because there's these things pulling you away from the present moment. Now by default, you're present, because you let go of the things that are pulling you away from that. You let go of the worries, you let go of the fears. Okay, that's the main difference. Concentration-based, the traditional meditation, is escapism. Mindfulness, you shift the approach and you dive right into what it is you're escaping from in order to let go of it. That is the practice. Okay, this is how you work on the internal directly. And that being said, when it comes to mindfulness-based meditation, when it comes to letting go, there are 3 steps. Okay, step number 1, which we're going to cover, be aware of what it is that you want to let go of. Step number 2, allow yourself to experience it fully. And lastly, step number 3, let it come up and let it out. So step number 1, be aware of what you want to let go of. Okay, on the surface, this sounds very simple, like, okay, just be aware of it. However, to really get this on a macro level, you must understand how the mind works. Okay, so if you take the totality of the mind, you can split it into two distinct parts. There's the conscious mind, which is everything that you're aware of right now. In this moment, you're aware of me, of this video, right? That's what's in the light of consciousness, you could say. But then there's the subconscious, and that's simply everything that you're not aware of. Okay, for example, past memories, right? If I ask you, hey, what did you eat for breakfast this morning? Now you're aware of it, but where was that before? That was buried in your subconscious. The same with monitoring your body temperature, breathing, digestion, heartbeat, right? All of that is taken care of by the subconscious mind. If you had to be aware of everything, all of that, all your memories, everything that happened to you, every thought all the time, you just wouldn't function. Okay, so we have this split in the mind, conscious, subconscious, and that is amazing. However, understanding this, the subconscious, right, what you're not aware of, this is where you're going to banish all of those things that you've labeled as unacceptable. Unacceptable thoughts, unacceptable aspects of yourself, unacceptable experiences, for example, past traumatic experiences, anything that, that's just not me, must get rid of it, you're going to banish that as far into your subconscious, into the depths, into the pit of your subconscious, as far out of your awareness as possible. Okay, and there's going to be layers and layers of resistance when it comes to being aware of this. Okay, and this is the first big challenge when it comes to letting go. You hear, okay, be aware of what you want to let go of. However, you're not aware of what you want to let go of, right? We talked about that split that we create from the moment that we're born due to the way that we're conditioned. All those unacceptable things, you're not aware of them. There might be a few right now where you're like, well, there's this, okay. But for the most part, they are so far out of your awareness that even if you tried to consciously remember them, right, to bring them up into the light of consciousness, you wouldn't be able to at all. There's a famous saying in the self-help world, there's what you know, right? There's what you consciously know. There's what you don't know. There's what you consciously don't know. But then there's what you don't know you don't know. That's the goal. That's what you must first learn how to bring up into your awareness, to become aware of it, and then let go of it. And to do so, there are many processes, from examining different patterns in your life, visiting your childhood, and many more. Okay, if you're part of my private mentoring group, you're aware of all of these processes. However, one that I'm going to share with you here, and this is the most powerful in my opinion, is bringing your awareness to every single time you get triggered. Okay, I'm sure you've heard this term before, get triggered. If you Google search or YouTube search getting triggered, you'll see a lot of funny videos. But basically, getting triggered is whenever your response is disproportionate to reality. So for example, we talked about this in video number 3, when it comes to social anxiety, when it comes to putting yourself out there. Right? One of the biggest fears that people have is speaking publicly, putting themselves out there publicly. It's like, what if people judge me? And they experience this paralyzing fear. Or go say hi to that person. No, I don't want to say hi to that person. No, they just freak out. Their reaction there has nothing to do with reality. Why? Because they're not in danger. Their life's not at risk. Why is it that they act as if, they're fighting for their survival? Because something inside of them got poked at. Something that they disowned is coming up closer into the light of consciousness. All right, if you were, for example, shamed for putting yourself out there as a child, and you interpret that as, I'm going to die if I express myself, let's take the aspect that is expressive and disown it, right, far into my subconscious as possible, to survive, then guess what? That fear of death around it, that survival instinct, will just keep amplifying over the years. And here in your adult life, anytime it surfaces, like, okay, go say hi to that person. To do that, I must embody the aspect of me that is expressive, and if I do that, I will die. You will freak out. The same survival instinct that kicked in then when you disowned it resurfaces in an even more powerful way. Now, what most people do is they try to design their lives where they're never triggered. Let me create a safe space and never be triggered. That is a terrible approach. The other approach that people take is they try to barrel through and fight whenever they get triggered. Like, let's fight against this and let's desensitize ourselves to it. And that is also a terrible approach. Okay, when it comes to, for example, social anxiety challenges, it's like, let me just practice putting myself out there, and the more I do, the more I'll be desensitized and the easier it will be. that will temporarily work. It will require a lot of effort. However, as soon as you stop doing those challenges, you'll go back to ground zero. So instead of avoiding getting triggered or fighting getting triggered, instead, whenever you do get triggered, guess what? Because that is something that was out of your awareness, something that you disowned that's now closer into your awareness, it's easier to catch it. And guess what? That is the best time to let go of it. Okay, a famous saying in the transformation mastery world is action, trigger, release, repeat. You take action, you get triggered, instead of fighting against it, you let go of it and you repeat the process. That is an amazing tool to bring this up into your awareness. I love social anxiety challenges, but not to fight against it, in order to get triggered so I can then let go of it. Okay, you can follow whenever you're triggered as a compass, if you will, in terms of what to let go of. Social anxiety is a common one, okay, but it can also be a lot more subtle. For example, a breakup that runs you years in the future, right? Is it sad to go through a breakup? Of course. There's a lot of grief. You're losing someone who you've spent a lot of shared time with. There's a lot of shared memories and experiences. However, it shouldn't run you the rest of your life. You'll see people run by a breakup 30, 40 years in the future, still, that partner. It's like, that is a disproportionate response to reality. And even on a more subtle level, just you not feeling at ease within your body, right? Most people, when they get home, they must immediately escape themselves. Whenever there's that urge to escape, that is also you getting triggered. Okay, so basically, whenever your response is disproportionate, whenever your response has nothing to do with what's out there, but everything that has to do with what's in here, catch it and let go of it. Now, two more things when it comes to being aware of all of this. Number one, if you're someone who's very familiar with the law of attraction and positive thinking, you will have to drop all of that, right? There might be a lot of resistance to becoming aware of these more negative, unacceptable things, because you believe that if you become aware of them, you'll manifest more of it. However, here's the thing. Those things that you're not aware of, they are active right now. And you are manifesting more of that right now. Bringing them into your awareness allows you to let go of them so you don't keep manifesting them. You got to stop living in denial here. You got to dive right into it. And number two, when you get triggered, when that survival instinct kicks in, and once more, it has nothing to do with the reality. Okay, you must also differentiate real, response to reality, like real danger. That's not you getting triggered. Okay, but if it has nothing to do with what's out there, like public speaking, you must dive into it and you must face fear's bluff. Think of it like this. Say you're a child and someone tells you, hey, there's a monster in that closet. And your entire life, people have been telling you there's a monster in that closet. Guess what? The fear has been compounding. It's amplified. The resistance to opening that closet is amplified. And now, what is this video telling you? Hey, you know what? Open that closet. Open that closet. That's the gold. Every step of the way, you're going to experience, oh no, triggered, oh no, and as soon as you open it, oh, there was never a monster. The same here. Face fear's bluff and have that willingness to dive right into it. We think that by bringing our awareness to the darkness within, we will manifest more darkness, but that's not true. By bringing the darkness into the light of consciousness, it fades away. Okay, so this is on a macro level. It's bringing all that stuff up from the subconscious into the light of consciousness. And on a more micro level, during the mindfulness-based meditation, this means bringing your awareness to the different sensations going on inside. Not thoughts, okay? You don't want to engage the mind, and not emotions. And this is key to differentiate. Emotions versus sensations. Emotions are the mental labels, if you will, that we place on certain sensations. For example, fear. What is fear? It's very vague, right? Fear is just this thing. A sensation, on the other hand, is very precise. Your heart starts beating faster. There's a tingling, a tightness in the stomach, right? You start breathing faster. Oh, now guess what? When that happens, your mind kicks in. Oh, based on these sensations, fear. That's the label. So go past the mental label and just focus on felt sensations directly. Okay, that is on a micro level during the meditation. Be aware of the different sensations going on inside. This is step number one when it comes to letting go. Step number two is allow yourself to experience it fully. Okay, once you're aware of what it is that you want to let go of, say you're triggered and those intense sensations are there, the next step is to simply experience them. not to judge them, not to analyze them or try to understand them or figure things out, not to get rid of them, to simply experience them. Okay, letting go, remember this, is the act of not doing. It's not something that you do. It's not, let me get rid of, let me let go of. It's letting go of the attachment and the resistance. Okay, by default, right now you're doing something. Remember, you have that split within. By default, you are attached to certain things, and by default, you are resisting other things. This goes back to Buddhism, right? No attachments, no aversions. That's the default. By default, you aren't doing nothing. Letting go is, let's take a moment to bring some of these things into our awareness instead of hanging on to and resisting, right? Which also, if you try to get rid of it, you're labeling it as bad. You are resisting it, and whatever you resist persists. Instead of doing all that, let's just let go of that and allow ourselves to experience them, okay? Which is easier said than done. By default, the mind's gonna be analyzing. By default, it's, do I like this? Do I not like this? Ooh, it's intense, it's unacceptable. I don't like this. Let me resist it. Let me stuff it back right down. Don't, okay? Be with it. That's all you have to do. Letting go is simply not doing. And by not doing and experiencing what happens, the charge associated to it, right? All that pent up, you could say triggerness, simply starts running its course and fading away. Okay, remember this as well, nothing is permanent. In order to let go, you just have to stop hanging on to and stop resisting. That's it. If you do that, it'll run its course and it will fade into the nothingness from which it came. Think of it as a balloon, right? There's a lot of air. All you have to do is just stay with it. And the longer you stay with it, the longer you experience it, a little air comes out, a little bit more, and suddenly it's just gone. Okay, that is step number 2. And once more, this is also why you don't want to engage the mind. You're aware of what it is you want to let go of. Then you simply allow yourself to experience it without any attachment, without any aversion. And lastly, step number 3, let it come up and let it out. Okay, and it can be extremely powerful here to facilitate this, to use breath work. Okay, I love pranic breathing, where you inhale through the nose for the count of 6, hold for 3, exhale through the mouth, making a shh sound, and hold for 3 again, okay, during the meditation. And just that, the intention, the breath, even the sound, shh, can really help move any kind of blockages within. That step 3 just really encompasses it all. Be aware of what you want to let go of. Allow yourself to experience it fully. And step number 3, let it come up and let it out. All done through a mindfulness-based meditation. This is how you let go. And this is what has completely changed my life. This is how you shift paradigms. This is how you free yourself from those ceilings of success. Okay, you bring your awareness to everything that's keeping them alive, all the shackles just holding you back, and by letting go, okay, through mindfulness-based meditation, you simply start releasing the charge. And by releasing the charge, those things that ran you suddenly start loosening their grip and you become free. Okay, and what you'll notice is, let's just say there's a traumatic memory that may run you, right? Even thinking about it, you get triggered. By releasing the charge behind it, what'll happen is that memory will simply become information. It will no longer have its hold over you. You know, I asked you, what did you eat for breakfast? And you brought that into your awareness. I doubt you get triggered by what you ate for breakfast, right? It's like, oh no, not what I ate for breakfast. It's just information. That happens to all those things where you have that disproportionate response to reality. Okay, the same with challenging different core beliefs or your core identity. That same charge is going to be there, and by releasing it, you are now free from the shackles of those things. Okay, and the beauty of it all is that it's permanent. And this is another key thing to understand. We're conditioned through mainstream self-help to believe that transformation, the true transformation that we're after, is like a Dragon Ball Z cartoon, right? Where you're like, here we go, Kamehameha, and you're this, you know, you boom into light and you're just this super powerful being. You're like, yes, I've changed. You'll see people at the end of, like, you know, those pump you up seminars like, yes. However, that is amazing, right? That's a glimpse, if you will, and definitely celebrate those moments, but that's not the change you're after. right? That's not permanent. Why? Because it still doesn't feel like it's you, and it requires some kind of effort or external force to maintain. What you're going to notice when it comes to letting go is that true, long-lasting transformation is very subtle and it sneaks up on you. It requires no effort, for if there is effort, it isn't you, it isn't permanent, and it's very hard to catch. The best way to catch it is honestly to just journal day to day how you feel, how you think, very briefly, right? And just look back every now and then and catch it. If you click the link below this video, there is a free meditation that takes you through these 3 steps, right? Be aware of what you want to let go of, allow yourself to experience it fully, let it come up, let it out. It has a focus on anxiety and fear, so simply click the link in the description of this video, go through this meditation, and let me know in the comments below what you experienced, what you felt, what came up. If you would like more structure and more guidance when it comes to letting go, do apply to join my private mentoring group. In that group, I take you by the hand and teach you everything that I know in terms of the different processes to bring up the things you're not aware of into the light of consciousness, how to let go of them. There's a clear structure in terms of where we're focusing our energy, right? Because you can hear this like, okay, letting go, and then you're just kind of winging it. In the mentoring, there is what I call the levels of transformation, where we focus on apathy, grief, fear, anger, and then courage, desire, purpose, and love. So there is a map, there is a structure, there's accountability, there's different exercises and missions and challenges, there's support. It is the most life-changing program I've ever created. So if this speaks to you, if you've gone through this series and you're like, you know what? This really is the missing piece. If you've done the free meditation when it comes to anxiety and you had realizations, if you're like, wow, you know what, I could see how this works, definitely apply to join the mentoring. I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time.